I'm Andy Gregg. I'm 76 years of age and I live in Silver Valley, Alberta. So my path is maybe a little different than some people's path in life. I went to university in Waterloo in Ontario because I was born there, and I met my best friend there. Julie has a degree in computer science and she was doing some accounting and working in an office, and she decided she really didn't like working in an office. So she went back to University of U of A to get her teaching degree. She applied for 11 positions and was offered 10 of them. So we decided on a job in the Spirit River School Division up in Silver Valley, Alberta at the Savannah School in 1976. Julie said, there's a project across the road that people are working on for the local ag society. They're building a recreation complex and they're looking for volunteers. So I walked across the road and hit a gold mine. There was a foreman there in his 60s, a grandfather, who had immigrated to Canada in the 1920s and rode the rails looking for work, got a job in a BC coal mine during the Depression, and went on to form his own construction company and worked all over BC, Alberta, and the Yukon. And then he decided to go homesteading in the Peace River country and got a homestead in Silver Valley and became a grain farmer and a honey producer. And a man of all things, he was just great. Oh, but I remember Jim, he was just the perfect example of a community-minded person who was willing to volunteer his time and everything to see a community project through. He just had that community awareness about him and was so knowledgeable and such a great teacher. So I learned so much about electrical and drywall and concrete and anything Jim knew he was ready to pass on. So he became a great friend. The Ag Society didn't have a grant for a work program. They had applied for grants a few years earlier and got the logs out of the bush and got the lumber sod for the project, and had built the foundation, poured the cement foundation for the hall, and just got up the walls, and the roof was on basically when I arrived on scene. We had people coming in just volunteering. When they're done their chores, they would come and volunteer and help with a community project. And I got to meet so many solid pioneers. If you ever hear stories about pioneering homesteading in the Peace River country in the 60s and 70s, you know it wasn't an easy task. But these people were 50 miles from the nearest bank or town, yet they all got together when it counted to help one another out. So it was a real sense of community there, and Julie and I knew we were home. Now, once we got this hall up, there was a hall was finished, and then we got the metal arena building, and so we had to make ice, and it was all natural ice in those days, and we had a volunteer crew to flood the ice and get things going. And of course, once we had ice, then we had to organize some hockey, and so we organized a minor hockey committee and got kids playing hockey. It was really great to see the Ag Society get that going back in the 70s and early 80s, and we have an amazing facility there now. We've expanded over the years. We've added artificial ice in the early 1990s, and we've got ball diamonds and gymkhana grounds, and just recently we've developed a splash park. I think the thing that makes me most proud is to see the second and third generation families that have stayed in the community and developed the community as well, though all these rural areas. These young people that have stayed have been so great for the community, so willing to put forth the time and effort to make it all work, to step up and be there when the community needs them. Once people volunteer for an organization, I think it becomes part of them in a way. They see the benefit to themselves and to the whole of the community, and I really think that once you start volunteering, it's almost hard to stop. It's just one of those things that if you're going to raise a family in an area, I think you have to be there for the other families in the area. You can't just be an island. Live your life to the fullest. You never know what's around the corner. Every day, you gotta get out there and accomplish something, and keep on slugging away, keep on soldiering.